They're so clumsy.
Welcome, people, to episode 116 of the show with me, Michael Labs, and the show with Taylor
Part-time.
Sydney
I'm
Boyd.
going back downstairs to watch The Office.
No, we're gonna finish up a whole podcast.
No. That's not what I agreed to.
We have a lot of.
No, I said part-time.
Speak. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm speaking.
All right, we're testing the sound quality too. Meanwhile, while we're also shooting a podcast. So let's start with this. I just ran my fastest 1 mile race of all time. I lapped this poor girl, and I felt so bad for her because she was so fat and she looked like she was just starting to run. And I lapped her, and I felt terrible.
You didn't do a race. You ran around a track.
I ran 4 laps.
That's not a race. You didn't get a little number thing to put on your shirt.
I went back to my old high school, and where I never ran a mile that was like under 9 minutes. I don't know, like between 9 to 10 minutes, or maybe under 9 minutes. Who cares? But
because you had the obesity.
Still have the obesity. It's a genetic challenge, and I'm constantly trying to fix every single day of my life. So
no, you don't have the obesity anymore.
I would. Oh, I easily do. Easily do. I could easily.
You could definitely get back there.
I could put on 20 pounds in this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just might just lose 20 pounds in a weekend too. Anyways, so I ran a 6 minute and 19-second mile, which I felt so proud of myself. I wore a shirt because there was people there, and I was embarrassed, so I wore a shirt, which means my nipples are now sore. But yeah. So that's that. So this hockey player, we want to talk about flirting, and I want to speak of it from a, I think it's a epileptic moment in the evolution of humankind. I think there are so many ways that humans have gone about to attract mates. And I think now, since those days are gone, and since we are modern people, we are not allowed to take our shirts off and flex to attract people. We're not allowed to let our odor go bad for a week and attract people with our odor, because that's actually how you end up fucking the other mate.
Michael, do you
by
want
physical
to be
appearance.
able to put this on YouTube or not?
This is going on YouTube.
No, I know, but you can't be like throwing that out there.
Yeah, you can. Oh, yes, you can.
Okay.
Because that's a fact, son. And yeah, so and you see it with chimps. Or what you see is just rape. You see rape all the time. Things get raped all the time. Humans get raped all the time. It's a terrible thing. I went too far. That might get me in trouble.
So that's, yeah. No, that wasn't wasn't the thing we agreed to talk about.
So we have this long-going...
We have a disagreement.
What is it about?
I don't want that.
Me neither. I don't want it, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by telling everybody exactly how Michael obtained me as a mate.
Ugh.
Okay?
Don't say that. It sounds like you have 5 babies.
That's what you said, though. Okay, so here's how it goes. We're in class together. We're in 2 classes together. I have never noticed Michael before, and... What are you doing?
I'm recording. Just keep going.
I don't like this. And so no, I really don't like that. And so we're in class together, and about probably towards the very end of the semester, I realized,
he's sexy.
The guy who's in my anatomy and physiology class is also in my pre-calc class.
And he looks good.
No, I didn't. No. And so...
Which is funny because I was really stinky at the time.
Okay, so here's the thing.
So was sad.
Is I was having trouble with pre-calc. And when I say I'm having trouble with pre-calc, I mean I have a high B. And so I, at some point, realized that Michael was in my class. And I went to Michael and I said, hey, you're in my pre-calc class. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm really having trouble. How are you doing? Like, any chance you can help me? And he was like, oh, yeah, that class is super hard. I have a D. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, like, that's not that bad. And what are you doing?
It's just in the mic.
Okay. And so basically I heard that and was completely not interested in a relationship as a study partner anymore. So that was the end of our starting relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And about a week later, Michael texts me and says, do you want to get coffee? No other context. That was the only thing in the text. And he had never even talked to me before.
Seems reasonable.
In any other context. Keep going. So I ghost him reasonably because it was super weird.
Like a jerk?
No, not like a jerk. Like somebody who would rationally respond to that when you had never talked to them before and you just out of the blue ask them to go get coffee. So I ghost him, and then I think a week later he texts me again. I don't remember what you said. I think it was something like, if you don't like coffee, we could get tea or something else. And I felt really bad for you. And also we were still in class together. So I agreed to this.
Yep.
But that was Michael's way of flirting, which ultimately worked out, but only because I felt bad for you.
Bullshit.
And so that's why we're here now talking about what is an acceptable way to court someone.
Okay, so I'm a man of equality. I believe that all genders, I believe all ethnic races, all cultures should be equal to each other. And I think the worst thing we can do is when you have people speaking for a group of people, assuming that their voices aren't as loud, so they put themselves, me as a white person, assume that other people who don't look like me, their voices aren't as strong.
What does this have to do with race?
I'm getting there.
No,
you got to speak into that thing.
This is why you have a problem.
So here we go. Like I was saying, and I think that's what flirting is. I think flirting, at the essence of it, is if I got 2 bullet points I'm trying to make here.
This is like a really bad interview.
No, listen, it's not an interview. It's a. You're trying to make fun of me.
I am trying to make fun of you, but it's not
so
that hard.
I think there's 2. That was a good vocal. See the way that you're talking right there? That's what you need to keep. So I think first of all, I think flirting is something that has recently been developed within the past, I don't know, 100,000 years, maybe 50,000 years. And I think because we're such a modern society, and because we have human rights now, we've invented human rights. We have this idea of certain things that you can and can't do. You can't, if a guy really wants to have a kid, you can't just go have sex with the local 16-year-old girl because they're underage. We've developed that mechanism. You can't just take your shirt off and go out and say, look, I'm the biggest and baddest motherfucker, date me. And you can't just go up and beat the shit out of somebody and hopefully get a girl in your pants that way. Or you wouldn't have pants because you'd be a caveman in your little leaf, I guess.
I feel like men don't say you get the girl in your pants. I think it's the other way around.
Louder? You got to be louder than that. But they heard you. So I think since we have become a much more modern society, we have gotten to the point now where being physically fit and being a dominant person, which would have been, historically speaking, the way you would attract another mate. Don't laugh at me. You know that's true.
Fat.
I would have been I would have been eaten.
Really smelly.
I would have been eaten by bears because people would have they would have saw that.
But you can't justify your absence of flirting
by
the fact that you were in really good shape.
I would have been.
You were a chunky monkey.
Listen, I would have been a dead human. But what I am saying is that since those are now frowned upon, being an incredible athlete, being in very good shape is frowned upon, being fat is praised upon. So we've had to
What?
Being fat is no longer an issue.
For women.
Well, for everybody.
Okay, if you have a dad bod.
Well, I would argue.
Okay.
I would argue that's not okay if you look at it from.
If you're 140 pounds.
If you look at it from a, if you look at it from an economical standpoint, fat people suck for the economy because they suck the Medicare. They make the hospitals pay a shit ton of money because they're constantly having heart attacks, they constantly have diabetes, they're constantly dying. Well, it's because you're fat. Anyways, let's get back to flirting. So we've had to invent this concept of dumbing people down. This is what I was talking about. I believe I am not a sexist. I think women are just as intelligent as me. Not all of them, but some of them are.
Thank you for clarifying.
I would say you are probably more
okay.
intelligent than me.
Yeah, you're
definitely more intelligent than me.
For sure.
And much more. I think you play in the rules of intelligence.
I definitely wear the pants in this relationship.
You're smarter. I wear the leaf.
I said what?
So because I was talking about leaves covering up. So I think we've had to develop this idea of flirting. We've had to use our words to get other genders, or your gender in bed to have sex with you. Because the idea of being a more attractive mate has been subsided because of our increase of modern society and technology and acceptance of everybody. So when I see people flirt, my first reaction, my amygdala lights the fuck up. Or no, insula, right? Insula is a part of your brain for disgust. Yes. Yeah. So my insula lights up. I'm like, look at those fucks. Because I know right away, especially if the other person's flirting, they both just want to have sex.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That is what normal people do to get in a relationship.
No.
And once you're in a relationship, it's kind of a given that most people want to have sex because you're physically attracted to each other. So, you start out with a physical attraction, and so you get to know the person, and after you have that physical initial attraction, you get to know them on a personal level, and then you become emotionally attracted, or you don't, and that relationship doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm saying. That is, you literally just made my point. That's why flirting is complete bullshit, because everything you just said is not a real thing. It's a modern thing.
But how do you get to know somebody if you don't show them that you're interested in them?
You don't do it. You do it these days. You do it in this world we live in. But what I'm saying, it was something that was completely artificially made up. It was made up so we could have this emotional connection. So we could be like, oh, I love the way you talk to me. I love the way you care for me. Meanwhile, we all know that that's just a implement of our modern society. We know that's not how humans interact with each other. We can go to tribes in the Amazon. We can go to Papua New Guinea where they still eat people alive.
And rape people.
Okay,
so you're saying
I'm just trying to
flirting, it's not natural to flirt, but it's natural to rape people. So that's why we shouldn't be flirting.
I would say, if we're talking just biology here, I would say it's more natural to force yourself upon somebody to produce offspring rather than flirting with people. I would definitely say that.
But we're not
verbally flirting, by the way. That's my whole point.
Yeah, but we're not saying what's more natural. We're saying what makes sense to begin a relationship with somebody and show them that you're interested in them.
I would still say not flirting. Because I think that the way that you start a relationship...
So how do you then?
Whatever I did.
Okay, but that didn't work.
What do you mean it didn't work?
I mean it didn't work. I felt bad for you.
Oh, well, then that's the way you should do it.
I tried to break up with you every month for like 6 months of our relationship.
Yeah, because I'm a winner, son.
And then you just were like, no, we're not breaking up.
Yeah, why would we do that?
I was kind of like...
Well, why would we do that?
Okay.
There was no reason to.
Well, because I didn't even know you.
Well, yeah, you never know anybody. And I would argue that flirting doesn't get to know anybody. I would say the way that you start flirting in the relationship is a direct indication of what that relationship is going to be. It's going to be dumb. It's going to be stupid. It's going to be unfulfilling. And it's going to you're going to be like, oh, I'm getting nothing out of this. And then a year or 2 years in the relationship, you're out there fucking other people because you're bored as shit. Because the person you talked about said, oh, I like your eyebrows. Well, no shit, my eyebrows look good because everyone who sees me, clearly you take care of your eyebrows. Of course you take care of your eyebrows. I don't need to tell you have good eyebrows. You know that you have great eyebrows. See what I mean? You have great hair. I will tell you that now in this relationship. I would tell you, oh, I love your smile. Oh, I love your hair. But at the beginning, it's just such a, I don't know. It's like talking about how to do addition to someone who's a mathematician.
Okay, but there's a difference.
That was a good fucking analogy.
There's a difference between.
By the way, I've always thought this way.
There's a difference between actually flirting with someone and being a dick about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you flirt with everybody. You're just a really flirty person. And I don't believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a difference between doing that and actually showing that you're interested in somebody by telling them nice things and things that you like about them specifically and trying to get to know them.
So what is the difference between being a very nice person, assuming that we're heterosexuals, we're not homosexuals?
Because you're a very nice person to everybody. But there's a difference between...
So when does it become flirting?
There's a difference between being a very nice person and seeking somebody out as somebody that you care about extra.
So that's when it becomes flirting, when you throw sex in the mix, when the end goal is to have sex. What do you mean no?
It's where you if you're nice to everybody, that's awesome.
Which you should already be.
That's your personality. Yes, that's fantastic.
Shouldn't be a personality.
Okay.
That shouldn't be a personality. It should be the way people act.
It's
be nice to everybody.
But it is. It is a personality trait. Not everybody is nice to everyone.
Assholes out there.
So
Sorry.
Okay, so if you're nice to everybody, and so there's a girl that you're interested in, and you give her equal amounts of attention and are the same amount of friendly and nice that you are to everybody else, that girl does not feel special. She doesn't feel like she's being noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't think that you're interested in her. And in our society, not that it's necessarily right, but it's kind of the man's responsibility to initiate a relationship. That's what it is today.
See, now you just got this video off of YouTube.
No, that's the truth. That's what most women expect. Is they expect for the man to say,
how fucked is that?
Something along the lines of,
you look beautiful.
Oh,
I see you here at the same time every day.
Do you want to hang out sometime? I really like talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's definitely, it does become the man's responsibility. But then there's also this weird game that has to be played. I can't say yes too quickly, because if I say yes too quickly, I look desperate. No shit, you look fucking desperate. That's the goal.
Okay, but
you want to get fucked.
Okay, but
a lot by the same person.
Everybody. So Michael and I, we had this conversation right before this podcast. And that was when we both decided immediately that you're a child, that this was something that should be disputed by everybody who listens to this podcast. So the way that we worked on that and figured that out was I asked Michael to do a scenario with me in which he would be trying to get together with me and how that conversation would
What do you mean
work.
by get together?
I mean, begin a relationship with me.
Yep. What's the end goal of a relationship, though? This is my whole point.
Oh, so the end goal of our relationship was sex? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Is that why you want a relationship with me?
Well, no, I didn't do the typical flirting with you.
Okay,
so
but
what I'm
you
saying
still
is
wanted a relationship with me, and I'm saying now that when people flirt, it's because the end goal is a relationship. And so if you start a relationship with me and don't flirt, that is the same as flirting with me and starting a relationship. You're starting a relationship in both cases. And if you're saying that starting a relationship ultimately leads to sex, then it's exactly the same.
Yeah, you're right. But I really do think that the act of, I don't know, I just feel like the act of flirting is like going to college, and like taking like I don't know, if you want to be a science major, but you take geology. It just seems like you're not going to, the quality of potential mates goes down tremendously. I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't, like, I see people flirt all the time where I work, and it just makes me want to put a gun in my mouth. I'm like, oh, what is going on here?
Okay.
Like, what game are we playing?
Okay, but there's a lot of, I think some of the people.
Can you agree with that, though? It's like mind numbing.
I agree. I agree with that for some people. That some of the people that I see in my daily life flirting with other people is disrespectful because I see them flirt with everybody.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that. I don't think that that's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell me that when you see somebody flirting with somebody and they're clearly paying strict attention to that person, that's not really cute and sweet.
Yeah, it is if they're like 8 years old on the playground.
Okay, well, okay. So let's show everybody.
Well, I just want to say one thing.
Your way of starting a relationship with me would work.
First of all, I think just being nice to people in general, and I think flirting is just when the opposite sex talks to the opposite sex, but in a really nice way.
Okay, so what about every girl that you talk to at the gym?
Well, that's why I wouldn't call it flirting. I would just say I'm a nice person.
Okay, but I'm saying that when you flirt, you're extra nice to somebody and you pay extra attention to them.
But I always do that with everybody I speak to, unless I'm really tired.
So what's the difference between them and me?
With you,
Nothing.
I would say
nothing.
No. It's just when I'm nice to somebody, it's like, oh, I ask them like, how's their day and stuff like that. But with you, it's much more of a I know more about you, so I can connect certain events that we've had in our relationship. I can bring certain things together with how you normally feel in a certain situation.
But how does that relationship start? That's awesome if you're saying that once we're in a relationship, you pay extra attention to me. So I know that when you're nice to other people, and you know that that's not anything special. But if you're saying that the way to get a girl or start a relationship is just that you're nice to everybody and that you don't have to be extra nice to anybody, then how do you get into a relationship with me and then get to that part where you know me well enough to be extra nice to me and intimate with me?
I would say I have no idea.
Yeah, so you're failing at this interview. Okay, let's do your scenario.
Can I at least tell you why I have no idea?
I think I know why you have no idea, but go ahead.
Why do you think I know? I have no idea.
I think that you're a child, and you think that you shouldn't have to flirt with anybody.
I don't.
And you're so judgmental of other people that you can't accept the fact that you're potentially wrong. And even though somehow your way of not flirting with anyone has worked out for the 2 relationships that you've ever had in your whole life, that makes you right. And that there is no chance that for anybody else flirting is something that works and is a helpful thing to start a relationship.
No, I think that there's completely different definitions. I think what you define as just being nice to somebody, as being a good person to somebody, is flirting. I don't think flirting should even be a word. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should exist. I don't understand what makes it different. What makes flirting different than just being a good person to somebody and paying attention to them when they talk to you? Is it to make them feel special?
Then what's the difference? How do you show that person that you care about them and want a relationship with them specifically if you treat everybody else the same? I'm not saying that you shouldn't be nice to everyone you meet or even extra nice. I'm saying that if you are extra nice to everyone you meet and you are extra nice to the person that you want a relationship with, I mean, nobody is going to crack that code. Nobody is going to figure that out because there's no difference. You're not treating them any differently.
So, I definitely could be 100% wrong. Like I could be 100% wrong on this, but I'm thinking of autistic kids. I'm thinking of autistic people who have the inability to flirt. So as a parent, if I have a son or daughter who is autistic and they never flirted with somebody, there has to be something special about it, because if I saw them flirting with the opposite sex or with the same sex, I would feel a sense of joy.
But that's not even true, because people with autism and learning disabilities or intellectual disabilities, if you teach them the basic social rules for flirting with someone or expressing that you're interested with someone or going on a date, they can follow those social rules. And they're really simple to follow. You express that you're interested in somebody, you compliment them, you ask them questions, and it's a simple thing for people to learn. It might not be easy for you if you have social anxiety or if you have never been in a relationship before. But if you are on the spectrum, that is totally something that, if it doesn't come naturally to you, that you can still easily learn.
But so being nice and reciprocating when they talk to you, with everything that you just said, is that defining what flirting is? Because then if that's what the definition of flirting is, to me, once again, that just sounds like being a good person. So I think the
But I think you're missing it. You're missing the point, which is that it's extra. It has to be somehow different from how you treat everybody.
I would,
even maybe if somebody comes into the gym and you're interested in them and you smile or express that you're excited to see them more so than other people. Like if I came into the gym and at the same time as some other girl coming into the gym and you acted just as excited to see her as you did me, I would be upset.
Consistently though, and then I think that's what I would say. If you're consistently excited to see that person, every day,
but that's not.
That would be an indicator, right?
That's not how it works.
Because there's some people I see every single day, and like some days I'm nice to them, some days I get through. You know what I mean? But like when you come in the gym, it's pretty much every single day. I'm like super excited to see you. So,
but have you ever been super excited to see somebody else when they come into the gym?
Not a girl, but guys I have been.
Okay, but have you ever been as excited to see them, the guys, as you have been to see me?
Maybe because
This is a trick question. If you say yes, I'm going to be upset.
Well, no. Well, there's some days I have like something I've been really waiting to say to somebody, like a dude. I've been I don't want to say names.
But do you get excited to talk to them, or do you get excited to see them and excited for them to be around you and you miss them?
No.
Okay, so it's different.
Mm-hmm.
How you express yourself and the way you present yourself to people you're interested in is different. Aside from just being nice to people.
Yeah, it is different. What do you say?
What's wrong with your elbow? Jesus Christ.
Is it pimply?
No, it's like, show me your other elbow. Ew, yeah.
It's gravel.
Show me that.
Is it black?
No, it's like, looks like you have necrosis.
Looks like a nutsack.
Yeah.
Like a scrotum.
Okay, but I really think that we should get to the scenario
Fuck
because
you.
I do want to go back to watching The Office.
Stop saying scenario, by the way.
What do you want me to say?
Scenario.
I don't care what you want me to say. I'm sorry if it bothers you, but I'm not sorry.
You have that vocal tone. You're doing that vocal tone again where you pronounce every single word.
All right, everybody. Here is an example.
Hold on. No. No. I don't want to do the gym. Because challenge me here. Fucking challenge me. Do something like
the gym should be easy for you.
Clearly not, because we tried it and I sucked. So let's try something different.
No, we're doing the gym.
Oh fuck me.
We are doing the gym. Okay.
This is why I love her though. This is
okay.
This is why I love her. She's such an asshole.
I come into the gym, boop, scan my little card, hold my wrist out to get my temperature check. Wait to get some hand sanitizer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's an example.
Hold up. By the way, you can't be too. Remember, this is my workplace.
Okay. Okay, well then I can't give that example.
See, look at this shit. See this shit right here?
It was really funny though. I really wish that I could. I can't, right?
I just scan your wrist.
I can't.
Nope.
Okay. All right. You scan my wrist. I hold my hand out
temperature.
I said that.
I know.
I hold my hand out for some hand sanitizer.
Squirt.
And what do you do? Where do you go from there?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, I think the weather could be a little bit. It's.
Are you kidding me? Okay, go ahead. You just keep going. You figure out how to fix this conversation on your own.
I'm doing superb. Oh. And she's like, he's gonna attack me.
Okay.
Hold on.
No. You don't get a second try.
I'm thinking.
Fix that.
I'm trying to fix it.
Go ahead and fix that.
All right. Oh, I noticed that you. Nope, don't want to say that. Sounds creepy. Oh yeah, the Alphalete. I like the Alphalete shirt. I used to buy Alphalete all the time. I don't really buy them much anymore.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's older. I really need to get some new stuff, but it works for the time being. Well,
I think they're gonna have like a new drop here in 2 weeks, so you might want to hop on board. And if you use hop on board, you might want to I'm sure you follow on the athletes, but you can always get a discount code to save a little bit of money that way. But you like Buff Bunny? That's Alphalete's sister company. It's Heidi owns that company, and I think if you like Alphalete, I'm sure you'll like Buff Bunny too.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of Buff Bunny already.
I have a few Alphalete pieces of clothing too. Back in the day. They don't really fit me anymore though. I've struggled with obesity my whole life. What have you struggled with? Clearly not money, because you have enough money for Alphalete, you rich fuck. Always coming in here with Alphalete. I see it every day on you. Oh, I'm creepy. I'm just kidding. I'm just making an assumption because everyone wears Alphalete these days.
Yeah, it's gotten really popular.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I used to have a clothing company that I miserably failed on it, but it was a fun learning experience.
That's cool. What was it called?
It was called Silence Fitness. Oh, before you get into it, it's because I was sitting in class and everything was like silent in my head, so I decided to make a company. What are you hitting today?
I'm going to do legs.
Legs.
I was going to do shoulders, but I'm pretty tired from last time.
Yeah, still sore, suffering from DOMS.
I'm sorry, what?
I automatically, in my head, it just translated DOMS into be like the level 2 of AIDS. Just a different level of AIDS. But I know it's not. DOMS is, we went off track for a second. We're back together. We're talking now. Mind you, people don't realize, but we're like right in front of each other and there's a fucking germ shield right in front of us. So the whole time people are like, huh? Yeah, DOMS is like delayed onset muscle soreness.
Oh, yeah. I know what that is. I just have never heard it abbreviated like that.
Are you going to squat today? For legs? Or are you just going to stick to a leg press? I've heard you don't want to do both on the same day.
I actually do usually do both. I usually follow like a workout on Instagram because if I don't, then I kind of convince myself that I'm not going to do it. Do you fart in the middle of your flirting too? You're disgusting.
I have now because people wear masks so they can't smell it as well.
That's a really good point. I have really enjoyed like going into public restrooms and not being able to smell something. Okay, and it's gonna sound gross, but yeah, when you go into a public restroom and you make a smell and you know that you don't have to be ashamed of it because nobody else can smell it, that is a good feeling.
Yeah, I've heard that when girls shit on their period, that it smells like copper pennies.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not true.
No?
Carry on.
Because
Keep going.
blood smells like iron? Doesn't it? Or copper?
I think it's iron.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday.
But okay, the poop doesn't come out of our vagina.
I know, but if it's like, let's say they're using, you know what menstrual?
You're embarrassing
no, you know what
yourself.
like those menstrual cups are?
Yes. It's not in your butthole.
No, I know, but it's in your vagina. So if you pull your pants down, there's gonna be like blood stain on it.
No. Why would? Do you know how feminine products work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, clearly you don't.
Yeah, I did. They're owned by Procter and Gamble.
Okay, if you use,
Those
I
things
don't
you
know
can-
what they're called, but if you use one of the
Menstrual
little
cups.
Dixie menstrual cups,
I know what they're called.
you don't bleed through them.
No,
it
they
doesn't
catches the blood.
It catches the blood. So why would there be blood in your underwear?
I don't know. It seeps out some of it.
No, why would people wear that
Or it's
if
overflowed.
it wasn't effective? Okay, yeah, so if you leave it in there for the entire day and you want to get toxic shock syndrome,
I've heard that's bullshit.
It might bleed out.
I've heard TSS is bullshit.
It's not very common, but it's not bullshit.
Because in health class, they used to like threaten girls with that shit. Like, you're going to get TSS.
All right, keep going. So we are on
Squatting.
you asking me if I'm going to squat or if I'm going to leg press because most people don't usually do both.
By the way, I would never talk to someone this long. This is exhausting.
Okay, but you still haven't expressed to
I'm
me
trying to hook
that
up
you
with you.
want exactly.
I'm trying to flirt with you.
That's the problem.
I wouldn't.
That's the exact thing that I'm addressing.
I'm already angry because you're wearing Alphalete, so I definitely wouldn't do that.
But you're the one who suggested that I was wearing Alphalete. I don't wear Alphalete.
What else would you say?
Gymshark. I wear Gymshark.
Oh, yeah.
Religiously.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, carry on. Go ahead. So you're upset that I'm doing the leg press and
no, I'm not
the
upset.
squat at the same time.
Do you do high bar or low bar in the squat?
What?
Do you do high bar or low bar? So low bar is when you, high bar is when you put it up like bar on your shoulders and you're more vertical posture. Low bar is when you're more like a 45-degree angle posture. It's a little bit more stress on your lower back, but it's more glute dominant. And I would slap my butt. A little bit more glute dominant. At that point, she probably just thinks I'm her gay best friend.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, I'm trying to figure out like when we can set up a date to go shopping.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And that's when I sneak in.
So here we go.
At Claire. I mean, not Claire's.
Okay, for anybody who like doesn't know
They're out of
what
business.
Claire's is, no, they're not.
I'm pretty sure they filed.
I just saw them in the mall the other day. Claire's is like the 5th grade version of a jewelry fashion store. So they sell like, it's where when you're 12, you go and get your ears pierced for the first time, and they give you like a fake little blue stud or a little flower. I had the little blue flower.
Of course.
Obviously. And they have like these really cheap headbands and bows and these really stupid bracelets and backpacks and, you know, whatever else a elementary school girl could possibly want.
And that's why we laughed, because I'm talking to somebody who's, 20 to 25 years old, and I'm talking about going to Claire's.
So, okay.
Which isn't good. If I was on the register, I'd sound really dangerous.
I don't really know. I kind of just do whatever.
Well, if you want to do a workout together, I could show you. She's so shocked. You're so shocked. You punched my technology. Yeah, if you ever like, I get out of work at like 4 o'clock. We can slip on by at like 2:30.
Okay, that was actually good.
Was that good?
That was good.
Really?
Yeah.
What if she says no?
Then
dinner?
Okay, well, girls wouldn't say no. Girls wouldn't say no because we're not that mean.
Say no, girls. All girls. If a guy wants to work out, you say no.
Unless you're really ballsy.
Well, you have balls.
And you're like, well, actually, no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody do that, but that would be really mean. But I think if she didn't want to go with you, she would probably make up an excuse or say like, oh, I have to work or something like that.
Where do you work? I'll come get a bowl of pasta at your place. I'm assuming she's like a server.
Honestly, and that's kind of, I think, how you manage to start a relationship.
Consistency.
Is you were so
like
fucking
a puppy dog.
Persistent.
Like a puppy dog.
I was like, oh, yeah, I guess we can go get food together. And I was like, okay, I don't really like this guy, but I'll give him a chance. Okay, you know what? You know what I actually do really want to talk about? Like, I don't know, a week into us dating, you come over to my house and we're hanging out in the living room with the dogs and we're getting ready to leave, and you say
I'm
for
a confident
the first time,
confident man.
You say for the first time to my dog, Eve, you say, Eve,
who is autistic,
I really love her. And then you just walk out the door with me.
Yeah, because I don't follow. I don't think that saying I love somebody should be a big deal if you know you love them.
You said it to my dog.
I told Eve.
You said it to my dog. I was right there. And instead of telling me when we went outside, and you a few seconds later asked me if I wanted to be your girlfriend. Instead of doing that and waiting for that fantastic opportunity under the stars, you told it to my dog.
Well, that's what makes me unique. That's why you like me.
No, that's what makes you really bad at starting relationships.
Well, I would argue if you're constantly starting new relationships, you're already bad at maintaining relationships.
What?
I would argue the better you are at starting relationships, you're bad at maintaining relationships.
Okay, but I'm not saying that you are average at starting relationships. I'm saying you're functioning at like a 4-year-old's level of starting a relationship.
I'm nervous. You're pretty. I got nervous, man. You're like Marilyn Monroe's like second cousin, except didn't get gang fucked by the Frank Sinatra crew.
I'm done with you.
Okay, but look, you did a full podcast, almost 45 minutes of just trashing me.
Oh, we're done?
People are they're gonna love this. Thank you. That's how you flirt with girls. You give them handshakes.
No, do not give a girl a handshake.
Well, you go up top, turn around, smack the butts.
Do not. That's okay, but once you've started dating.
Are you telling me not before?
But no, if you give a girl one of these.
It's called a fist pound.
Or a fist pound. You give a girl a fist pound. Even worse if you do this. Okay? Or
what about
you give
these?
them a high
What about these? This is the way you do it these days. You don't want nutsock bell?
Don't no.
Okay.
Don't. No, you give them a high five.
You
She's going to do her workout. She's doing leg day. You're like, yeah, girl, you get it.
Rip that shit.
No, do not do that. You have automatically put that girl in the bro zone.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No girl wants to be in the bro zone. That is a really hard place to get out of.
I would argue if they're lifting weights, they're already a bro. These girls shouldn't lift weights. You piece of shit. You fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit.
That was a joke, everybody.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming on. I was gonna talk about like the denial of death, like why death is the only reason why we feel any importance of living. She's shutting down right now, and I didn't feel like getting all very philosophical with people. So when I saw the opportunity for you to just, because you love your favorite thing to do is trash me, and you can go on trashing me for a long time. Mm-hmm. So when I told you about the hockey guy who said,
easy.
I'm easy.
You're so easy.
And I love games.
You just like to argue with me.
I fucking love it.
You like, what you do is you realize like 5 minutes in that you are completely wrong, and you just keep going. You just keep going.
Yeah. But then I won't be wrong again.
You completely back yourself into a corner, and
But then I won't do it again though.
No. No, you definitely just keep going.
Well, you know why, right?
Why?
Because I'm confident.
Did you feel confident explaining yourself?
I did at some points, and then some points, you're the only person who's ever made me feel like I pooped myself in the 3rd grade all over again. You fucking asshole. Because you do this thing where you do this. This is what you fucking do. Are you ready? This is what you fucking do. You do this thing where you're very submissive at the beginning conversations. You let me just blow up my fucking spot. You let me just dig myself in a hole.
Shut up. You dig yourself into a hole.
Shut up. I'm aware of this. You let me talk about raping little people and doing some crazy shit, and midgets trying to get away from a dog and deciding which one's going to jump over the fence, even though they're all short and one of them is going to get eaten alive by a Rottweiler. You let me do these fucking crazy ass things. And then you slow it down. You take your words, and they're like this at one point. I'm still going like this the entire time. But then you turn on. So this is what my dissertation is going to be about at Harvard University. It's going to be about this science thing with this biology thing with this science thing. So Michael, I want to rebuttal what you said earlier. You said that, and then you do that. You do that little thing, and then I'm over here going like this, and
then you try and take it back.
Well, look, and then I go like this. I notice my body start closing off. I start going like this more. I start going like this more. And then I get mad at myself because I fucking know what you're doing. So then I start going like this. And then I start like, what the fuck am I doing? Why I know, like, why are you doing this with your hands? And I become aware of my hands and then become embarrassed with what I said. But then by the end of it, I get back on my high horse.
Do you?
I get back on my fucking high horse like right now.
You're on your high horse.
On my high horse. But listen, I was.
Let me clarify. You are not on your high horse. You are on your Shetland pony right now.
That's what I was going to say. I was on my thoroughbred. Now I'm on this half fucking 3-legged of a horse. That's inbred horse. That's barely moving along the farm. That he's not even protecting like a donkey. The donkey's like pulling him by the fucking neck and shit. The dumb horse. The horse that only eats once a week because it forgets how to shit. And it backs it up and it blows its little belly out.
My favorite thing to do to you
is just let me go.
Stop talking and make you feel uncomfortable because you just keep going. You just keep going and it's so bad. It just gets progressively worse.
Well, that's why I have 117 episodes.
Exponentially worse.
Yeah.
Well, as you keep going. It's bad.
And that's why podcasting is an art form. Because not many people could do that. Because, listen, this is what dude, that right there could be a meme. This right here, look. So what is it like to live with Michael? Well, no, this is what I'm saying. I think a lot of people wouldn't. I think a lot of people would struggle doing a podcast because they would, after they're done with the podcast, they'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? What was I even talking about? Me, I finished the podcast like, yep, that's what happened. Move it away. On to the next one, and we just do another one, and then whoop, and then back again. What's up, guys? I'm going running today, and I feel good about it. Woo! One time I took a shit that was so big it formed a circle in the toilet. I had to clip it with my butthole. Woo! First time I moved to Bowie, I peed in my neighbor's house, and they caught me, and they called my dad over, and they said, "What's that guy doing in the front yard?" And my dad said, "Oh, that's my son peeing in your front yard." Woo! I went to a school one time, and I went to swimming class, and I was the only white kid there. Everybody else was a black kid, and they called me Snowball. Woo! First time I played baseball, I was like 5'8", and I was the tallest motherfucker there. Guess what? I was the only white kid there too. Woo! I go back. I moved to Davisville, and I became.
Why are you still going?
Sorry.
Why are you still going?
Sorry. Right. This is a 50-minute podcast. We good? Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
All
unless you want to keep talking.
Nope. It was a gravel hand, not poop.
Sure?
Not poop. Gravel. Not poop. Gravel. It's not stuck in my hand. It's just. I was tired after my run. You know, I ran an additional 2 miles after that.
I never have to worry about Michael being disloyal to me because he doesn't know how to flirt with anybody. Unfortunately, like, this is actually how he talks to other people. Mm-hmm. I've seen it when I come into the gym. Mm-hmm. Somebody comes up to him and Michael is there. This poor person is minding their own business, just coming in to work out at the gym, and Michael just looks at him dead in the eyes. So, do you think sex would be different if we were aliens and we only had buttholes?
Fuck yeah, it would be different. Well, first of all, we would have to have.
Problem.
First of all, we would have more blood flow in our bodies because our dicks would have to be harder.
It's insane. I actually did not think that you carried on that pattern of speaking to people when you were in public.
No.
And the first time I saw it, I was embarrassed.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Thursday nights I'm fucking exhausted because that's how it works. And this is what this is right here. You're looking at the product of a class clown who didn't get into drugs. You're looking at a class clown who had severe ADHD but didn't get into cocaine and is still alive today.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know one of the reasons why I don't like this shirt?
Titties.
I feel it emphasizes my nipples big time.
Titties.
And I feel like the white part should be lower so I can cover up my nips.
Titties.
All right. Game over. But look, I read books, though. I'm smart, though. That's what makes it even more dangerous. Okay. Is I can go... All right. Make sure you guys like this podcast. Please share it with all your friends and family and your neighbor's dog and the homeless guy down your street. If you want to leave a rating on it, that would be lovely. I think we're closing in 450 ratings on Apple Podcast. I want to hit 500 by my birthday, so September 9th, which is crazy because this time last year we were trying to close into 100. No, 50. I don't know.
Do you want me to tell you what your birthday gift is?
Nope. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening. I'll catch you guys in episode 117 of The Michael Lab Show with Khaleesi, House Targaryen, the mother of dragons.